Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We're talking about grandmammies, grandpappies, cousins, play cousins, uncles, aunts and play uncles. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did.
Don't don't
Welcome.
don't forget about the play children.
Oh yeah, and the play kids too, the step kids, the kids of the kids. Welcome to another edition of the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. Tonight we bless you with the Tuesday night flight. It is I, the Midnight Rider. It is the big guy KG. We're going to hit you with some information from over the weekend. We're going to still talk about the hijinks at Hayfield. We're going to talk about the Commanders absolutely blowing an opportunity on Sunday. And if there's anything else out there that we forgot to talk about, we're going to try to add that in too as we go along. If you got suggestions, throw it out there. Oh, I got to talk to you about the Finnegan thing too. It's not a good sign. So with that said,
Finnegan thing?
the Finnegan thing, yes.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, let's start the show there.
Well, hold on. Before we start the show, there, I would like, even though I'm on location, I want to thump my chest. So that's me thumping my chest because I did what nobody could do in 11 weeks. I took down the number one team in fantasy football. I'm with it.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because
All the way with it.
There's no hotter team right now in that league than my team. I think we got back-to-back 200 plus. I think I had 230 this week. So I don't know if you guys got to check the Hall of Records. See if that's the highest score ever. Let me know. Anything else you got?
That's all I got. But no, that's not the highest score of all time. I still hold the highest score, 267 of all time. So, yeah, you still got a little ways to go. But, I mean, you reached for the stars. You shot for the moon. You missed, but you're still among the stars, buddy.
I got you. Thank you, Donnie Simpson. That's 2 shows in a row that he's got to mention. So, what do you want to start? You want to start with the thing I just dropped on you about Finnegan?
Yes, please enlighten me on that, please.
All right, so
and we're joined by the boss BJ as well.
What's up, B? So basically what happened this week or this weekend, the Nats had Finnegan under contract. He's in his arbitration years. So basically you go for a judge, you plead your case, the judge makes a decision on how much they want to pay you. Well, the Nationals decided that instead of doing arbitration, they were just going to grant him his release and not do the arbitration. What does that mean? Well, it means that he could have possibly won up to 8 to 9 million in his arbitration case. He probably would have won it because he had 38 saves last year. He pitched to good numbers. Well, I guess the Nationals felt they didn't want to pay that. They weren't going to pay that. So they ended up deciding just to go ahead and grant him his outright release. He becomes a free agent. Now, it doesn't mean he can't sign back here, but he's going to sign back here probably at the number they want, not the number that he earned. So basically, if you're out here saying, "Oh, I can't wait for the next all season because they're going to pay a bunch of people," this is your mark right here. This is letting you know that we're not paying the wrong people or we're not paying everybody. So don't expect a crazy spending spree when free agency opens up. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, let me interject this. If I'm not mistaken, the Lerners are still the owners of the team, correct?
Correct.
The Lerners have been skinflints, for lack of a better term. Yep. Frugal, cheapskates, if you will. And they have been this way for as long as they've earned the team. They haven't really, the contracts they've given out to Worth, Strasburg. I think Harper got a big contract at one point in time, but they refused. Harper didn't get a big contract. That was his rookie deal.
Yeah, that's all his was.
They refuse to pay anybody when they come up to arbitration. And I've noticed that. I've noticed they refused to pay anybody. And that's not fair at all. That's not fair. Uh-oh.
You good?
There you go, B. That's not fair that they refuse to pay anybody because these guys have earned this contract and you still refuse to pay them. What kind of Bush League tactic is that you would let somebody go because they earned a certain number? Obviously, he played well enough to earn said number, and you're going to let him go? I hope he doesn't sign back. I hope he goes somewhere and wins a Cy Young, wins closer of the year, and the Nationals will look real funny because they got cake on their face now. I wanted to say something else, but I'll leave it at that.
Well, the kicker is that it's just not set up right. I mean, they made a mistake. But the problem I have with it also is why not move him at the deadline? If you're gonna go through all this and not bring him back, why keep him? You could have traded him. You could have tried to make out like you did the last time you made a deal like this. Got you a kid like DJ Hurst, somebody that's a lower level prospect. That's a fringe prospect. If you weren't going to keep the man, it just doesn't make sense. Like if this was the plan, then somebody either didn't know the plan, or somebody they just couldn't get anything for him. That's what I have on that.
Why are the Nationals like this? I just because it's like it's one of them things where like when I hear you talking since you've been on the show and you know enlighten us about the Nationals, it's like I don't know if it's a broken record, but it's definitely on repeat, and I just don't understand.
You just went out.
I know. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good now.
Yeah, I'm having some technical difficulties. Like I just don't understand why the Nationals are like that at all.
Yeah, and it's weird because I mean they have the money, they have the opportunities. Maybe not making as much money as they once were, and maybe that's why they're not taking these chances. But the problem is they're struggling. I mean, you can't tell the fans this year for another year we're going to be like, oh, we're not paying anybody because we're in this process. At some point, the process has to like start producing results. Otherwise, we just spinning wheels, and it doesn't make sense for them to do it this way. It's not like you're completely broke, and then you got the contract of Corbin coming off. So the most you're spending like $40 million right now on this baseball team, and that puts you in the category with the Oakland A's and the Florida Marlins. So that's not the company you want to be in. I'm not saying they have to be the highest paid team, but it'd be nice to be in the middle. It'd be nice to bring in a couple people, and for some reason they're just not doing it. Let's grab a couple of these comments. Jesse Young says, "Hey fella, hello fella." Jesse Young again. Go Lions. Hey Jesse, are you what you call his brother? You know what I'm talking about. Let me know. Matty Ice jumps in, says Nats act like a small market team. Don't get why. Don't have the front office to do it. Guard style. That's it. I mean, they're basically shopping in the bargain bin the last couple years, and then that's it. And you can't do that. If you're trying to build this, you're just getting, I don't know, you're getting fringe prospects, flipping them, and at some point, once you've done flipping them, you got to turn it into something else. Yes, you have Brady coming up. You got the young guys, Wood, and all those guys, but you got to start having somebody's got to play first base. And they actually got to hit like a first baseman. Somebody's got to play third. Somebody's just they got to start putting some building blocks outside of the young core. They got to have some stabilizers in there. And that's the part that doesn't make sense. That's the part that's annoying. Because somebody's thinking, oh, they're going to get a frontline starter. After seeing this, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if that's tangible for them to add a frontline starter. KGB?
I don't. The Nats, they're head scratching. They're baffling. They're mind boggling, is what they are. And it's been like that for quite some time. It's like, when are we going to stop, like you say, it's spinning wheels?
Yeah, I mean, and at some point, you got to just get off the ride. I mean, sell the team. I mean, get a resolution to the TV contract that you're sharing with Baltimore, and Baltimore hasn't paid you on. Do something to get yourselves online and back on par. Like, the fans deserve better than that. After 19, I understand the COVID year, but you've done everything to dismantle this program and this team since the World Series. And it's just like, where's the reward? Where's the reward? You're going to start getting fans, and the other part's going to happen is you're going to start getting people in the media that's going to start attacking this team because they're not trying to win. That's going to become a thing. You're going to see some very aggressive articles and commentary coming up in the next couple of months if this stays status quo. What's up, B?
I am back. Sorry about that, y'all. A little mini emergency. So, what are we on now? The Nats still?
We're just finishing up.
Okay, cool. Well, we finish it. I'll jump on it later on. But let's move to the next topic.
All right. So let's. Oh, Matty Ice. Sorry I couldn't jump on, but work to do in the house. But listening when I take a break. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Same to you.
The best to you and your families. Love you guys. Love you too, Maddie. Same to everybody. Everybody that's watching. Happy Thanksgiving from the Sideline Junkies. Hope everybody's safe.
Absolutely, 100%, man. We appreciate, like always, I say this all the time, man. We appreciate y'all joining us and let us do what we do. You know, it's cool. It really is, for lack of a better word. What we got next?
Right. Next is the Hayfield Hijinks. I don't know if you heard us talking about the high school football program that basically
I did not.
So basically, they brought in a new coach, a new AD. They decided to bring about 30 kids from the school he was at, which had won the state championship, into Hayfield in Alexandria. I think that's where it is. Basically to create a super team and dominate this conference. And basically the way it happened is the coach got hired in the spring. Kids start transferring in. Parents are buying houses because this coach has coached some of their kids since the age of 7. So they're going everywhere with this coach now. And people that aren't able to move into the area, they're basically having these kids register themselves as homeless. So that way they can qualify for the district. There's a text message on a chain that one reporter got a hold of. Basically, where they were bragging about this because this was their workaround to get the kids eligible and able to play in the district. So then, start of the season, 14 or so kids were ineligible. They still have a bunch of kids coming into the school. Everybody knows about it. They just kind of turn their heads, and the conference claims they did an investigation, but they didn't. They just kind of like passed it on and just let it go. And what am I missing? They basically blowing out teams to the point where in Virginia the skunk rule is you have a running clock the whole end of the game. So there are teams that have come out in the second half and just stood around They beat. I think their score was like 543-13, something ridiculous. That's how bad their season numbers were. That's how dominant they were because they went into a league that's not a big football league. So then we get to last week and they're deemed ineligible to play in the playoffs. They're banned from the playoffs. We fast forward to the day of the playoffs. Judge gets an injunction. They're allowed in because of the technicality. Playoffs get moved back. Of course, they got to stay in line with the other state schools. So basically, kids have to play Tuesday. I'm sorry, yeah, they play Saturday, Tuesday, and Thursday to get themselves up to date. So it's been craziness. And then finally, yesterday, the principal pulled the team from the playoffs because of all the stuff that's been going on and all the stuff that's coming out. So that's where we are, basically.
Let me tell you, Matty Ice got this has been going on forever in youth sports. Coming soon, NILs of high school. Let me tell you this, and I was just about to jump on that. This is where social media kicks you in the butt because this has been going on forever. The difference now is you get this information the next day when it's hot on the press. You got all these social media sleuths and all these news agencies trying to break a story, and they love it. They love the social media. They love that it comes in so fast, and something that you probably wouldn't have heard about until one of these kids made the league and they start investigating. 10 years from now, 15 years down the line, you hear rumors about it. You actually get to live and see the real thing right now. So it's just one of them things you scratch your head and you like, but this is what it is. This is sports. A lot of these parents see the dollar signs, especially if you got a program where um it's popular and the kids are going to big schools now, and like Maddie said, now you got the NIL deals that some of them don't even have to make it to the league. They're gonna get 5-10 million NIL deals going to college, and that you talking about coming from nothing, that means a whole lot. So this is I was gonna say it's crazy, but this is normal. It's just being reported now.
I don't think we've ever had to this magnitude. I mean, I know there's been talks because people have called into the shows. I know a guy said in Calvert County they got 2 investigations going. So yeah, people are definitely doing this. I mean, we remember we're at the age of kids wearing trying to get weight legal because they paying
Mhm.
75 pounds and all that stuff. So it's definitely always been going on. I
Yep.
think the level of this and it being the number of kids, like it being 25, 30 kids as opposed to like 1 or 2, is where it kind of just goes off the rails. And just the tactics that were used in some of this, you gotta just check out the article, man. It's crazy. I'm gonna see if I can find the link and post it. But yeah, people been going through some measures to make it work.
Oh yeah, they definitely will, man. They look, man. You see the big picture, and somebody trying to get on somebody coaching staff somewhere. It's. Unfortunately, man, this is the ugly dark side. This is when you walking through the big city and you look down that alley and you can't really see but a light twitching. That's that alley right there. You go down that alley, you don't know what you're gonna get, you don't know what to expect. But they're down that alley. This is the part of high school sports and youth sports that we've touched on this show, but like you said, this one is large and in charge, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just crazy to think of what's going on. Like I said, when you said that people are buying house, but like I said, they parents been doing that before moving, buying houses, the whole nine, playing the game, playing the system. It's just crazy. I can't. I'm trying to wrap my head around it, and I still can't. But I know maybe not to this magnitude, or maybe not to this magnitude we know of. But this
Right.
is yeah, this is This is along that track though. It's crazy. Crazy.
I mean, it's the things that people do. I mean, there are kids literally living in apartments, to be eligible to play in this district. Crazy part about it, man. You
That
know,
is crazy, man. Crazy. What we
but
moving to next?
that's on KG. I don't know what else we got on this. I didn't check the
KG,
banners out.
you there, KG?
Commanders woes.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm multitasking.
Okay.
I forgot to get the corn for the corn pudding on Thursday, so I got to get that so mom can cook it or mom can kick my ass. So
Oh, okay.
Talk
Hey
about being on
man,
assignment.
yeah, you definitely multitasking. Yeah.
Well, real simple. I mean, we saw the mess Sunday. The Commanders take on the Dallas Cowboys for 55 minutes. This is probably one of the worst ball games I've ever watched. And in the last
For
5 minutes,
sure.
something crazy happened, and you get an 86-yard touchdown catch. You get a 99-yard punt kickoff return. You get a onside kick return for a touchdown. And still at the end of it, there still was a chance or a possibility that stuff could have happened. They did all of that work and then just let it go at the end. Of course, now we have, the Cliff Kingsbury decline or falling off the cliff is what everybody's been calling it. You get a lot of speculation, and everybody's trying to figure out what's wrong with the Commanders. What happened was how do we fix this now, as opposed to all the hype and the sensation that was the Commanders at 7-2. It's all gone away because of these 3 losses.
I think people fail to realize you still have a rookie quarterback in the back that's starting for you. You have a rookie quarterback. Now, I would say, like I said, I know Dan Quinn has a big loss on his record. He's responsible for the Super Bowl loss in New England, right?
Right, the
But
28-3.
this is right behind that. This is direct. Like as soon as you file that away, this file is glued. Like it's been in the cabinet so long, it's weathered and the humidity has stuck this file to the other file. This is directly behind this because here comes in the town a Dallas squad that's in turmoil, running their backup quarterback. They don't even know which way is up, and for them to come in here and look, kudos to them. They made the plays that they had to make to win the game, but the Commanders just look out of whack. They look like they weren't ready for this game, and they didn't have a plan. If that makes sense, they look like they didn't have a plan. They were just kind of like playing backyard foot. Let's wing it. You know, just throw your hand up when you open, and I got you type stuff. And we've seen that. Of course, everybody. Oh, they haven't beat nobody, whatever. But if you watch this offense this year, you could see that when it's clicking, it's clicking. And this is just one of those bad losses that is gonna this is where your character, your team is tested. They're gonna have to come back. They play Tennessee next, right?
Yep.
They're gonna have to come back and they're gonna have to get a W against a team that another team that they're supposed to beat. And that's all it is. They have to put this behind them. It was a very bad loss at home. Very, very bad loss at home. Um, blame goes everywhere. I do want to ask one question. Do you blame who's to blame for the missed field goal at the end? Who do you blame?
Um,
Who do you
I
blame for
blame
that?
Cyber because he wasn't healthy. That hip was still bothering him, and then his confidence was down as well. So you blame Cybert on that, and
That's the
he knew
kicker,
it.
right?
Yeah, and he's on IR now.
Okay. What
I,
about what about you, man? Right? Who you blame?
I blame the long snapper because I think he put a
Yes,
snap back that bounces or comes
absolutely.
in low. And I think, because you can tell he pulls that kick. And he
Yep.
pulled it from the beginning because he was way out in front because the timing of the play was off.
Let me tell you something. Number one goes to the long snapper. Number two goes to the holder because you get to see it's so crazy watching sports. You get to see the tier of greatness, the tier of mediocrity, and then you see the bottom. We've seen that happen on special teams, and that's that long snap, the bad snap, but that holder gets that ball right where it needs to be and moves it. Even he has to move it forward or whatever he has to do to get the timing right for the kicker, because they practice the bad snap. And you could tell. I know this is just the kicking woes and everything. Maybe they haven't had that time to jail. And like the big guy say, the kicker's hurt, but he had a foot on that. It just the timing was off, and the long snapper is who I put the blame on for that kick being missed. The long snapper is to blame, ladies and gentlemen, not Siebert. Um, but you can make the case you got your foot on it. You have to adjust your timing. But that's where you see the Adam Vinatieri. We've seen him do it 100 times, adjust his timing. Give me another kicker. Give me a kicker. Vinatieri. What's the boy? What's another? Vanderjet when he was on top, because he was on top for a little bit.
Right. I got
Vanderjet,
you.
Grammatico. We've seen really great kickers go in that situation, and might be a duck going in the upright, but it's in the middle going in there. It fixed it,
Right.
and it just you could tell that's that part of the special teams, the long snapper, the holder, and the kicker. They're the D- crew of the league. That's what they are. And if they were C+, they probably would have made that field goal. They probably would have just made it. But I'm definitely with you, Midnight Rider. Long snapper, baby. Long snapper.
The other crazy part about this ball game is that end of the field, there were 5 missed field goals or 5 kicks missed at that end of the field. It was 2 extra points, the field goal at the end of the ball game, the block kick in the first quarter, and the missed kick by Aubrey in the later on in the ball game. That's unheard of. That's like that end of the field at back when it was Heinz Field, and they would talk about that one end of the stadium that was open to the river, and how this was like you could kick it 55 on one end, but probably only 49 going the other way,
or it's gonna hit one of these. It hit one of them turns, and when Buffalo gets like that, the wind swirling up top, that you'll see that ball take a hike somewhere. Who else is like that? It's another stadium where the wind swirls up the top, and you got to kick it.
Meadowlands.
The Meadowlands is like that too. That wind get to swirling. It's crazy because if you get to a certain point, the ball just take off. Like somebody kicked it in midair or something. Maddie, real quick, I think the worst feeling in sports is seeing your team get so close to a comeback and lose, than getting their butts kicked. Much bigger kick in the gut. And that, man, Terry took that thing to the house. We like tie ball game. Let's get it back. The momentum swung, and then they missed that kick. Maddie, again, first real adversity Washington has faced all year. How they respond next week will say if they're contenders or pretenders. Get to Maddie's comments. He said he's shocked they didn't go for 2. All that more after the big play, go for 2 in the W. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, Maddie said Pittsburgh. I think he's talking about the field goal.
Right.
Yeah. Look, man, I didn't even think about going for 2. I was like, man, they get that field, they have the momentum, they home, the crowd is back into it. Now you get the Hawks are getting the crowd together. You make a couple plays on defense, the crowd's going nuts, and now you get the ball back and you can do your thing. The crazy thing is it's frustrating watching because the offense has the big playability. You see it, they just came out super flat, and this is something. This is like they came out like Ron Rivera was on the sideline. that's how they came out Sunday, and they haven't been that way. They played some bad games, but just coming out flat and just not looking like they didn't know what Dallas, like, damn, who is this team? Now we haven't practiced for them.
But it was even crazier because Dallas was like, we want to go home. Here's the ball game. No. Seriously. We want to go home. Just when Here's
Just
7
take
more
it.
points.
Just
Just take
take it.
7 points here.
Take
And
it.
I think if they had found a way to get 10 points or 13 points early in that ball game, Dallas would have been like Snoopy and laid down and let you pet them because
Yep.
that was ball game. They was ready. They
Yep.
was in the huddle talking about Cancun. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like the second quarter. All right, they're gonna pick it up soon, and then we can still talk about Cancun. I don't know what you wearing that first day in Cancun, but
I already got my outfit laid out.
yeah, my outfit laid out.
The
It's
shoes
the
on the
third quarter.
way.
It's the third quarter. What's happening? They haven't tried to win this ball game yet. I don't know what's going on. And then now they in it.
Yeah, now they in it. Yeah, I don't think they expected to win that game, man. The line was 10.5. And if Washington came up and played to their ability, that should have been an easy 31-10. You know, that should have been Washington cruising, but it isn't. And the Cowboys came out with a victory. So kudos to them.
We got to get a crack staff intern or something, because I think this is one of those years. This is one of the first years I can remember that the team going into the weekend with the biggest line. So the -10s, the biggest underdogs have won at least. I know the first 4 weeks of the season they all did. I don't know if that's happened since, but when we add this in there, that's at least 5 times in 12 weeks where the biggest underdog has come out the winner. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is interesting. That is very interesting. And then I think Kansas City was the other 10.5. And if you bet the Panthers, you want you some money because
Yep.
they covered.
They covered.
You know?
Somebody else covered. It was another 3-point ball game on the schedule. And it's just like, here we go. We think, and this is the part where I always tell people it's dangerous as fans just to be like, oh, we just gonna blow them out by 20. And that's not the case because these teams play, man, they get paid.
Maddie, Kent State down 26-0 at the half, 0-12, and 21 in our grip. 21 in a row in our grip. I'm sorry, Maddie. I'm sorry, man. It's hard. I know that's you know what? I don't know. I mean, if you go to College Park, they picking up pieces of the turtle shell around the field in the football program. So don't don't feel too bad, okay? But like what?
This was supposed to be a down year for them.
You said what?
This was definitely supposed to be a down year for y'all, to me, because I didn't know what Billy Edwards was. He played better than I thought, but I don't know.
He's an inconsistent gunslinger. He showed you that USC game where he can improvise, he can move with his feet, he can make some, but it's like, okay, that's the what am I trying to say? That's the Josh Allen part of his game. That's the special.
Right.
But you can't do that all game. At some point of the game, you have to put an offense together and you have to be accurate and you have to read the defense. And that's why I think Morris played last game. The other quarterback.
No,
I think
Morris.
more.
Did he get hurt?
I'm not sure, but
I saw him go in the locker room earlier. But then I mean, I was in the midst of changing channels.
He got hurt. They got hurt. Hey, you better pretend like you hurt, make it look good. But yeah, you know, like I said, man, this is I know we all over the place, but the Terps, they need a real signal caller. They need if they can get a quarterback. We've seen a quarterback make the receivers, make the offense, but until you get that, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get a struggling football team that they look good against some teams, and at some teams, like for a quarter and a half, they were toe-to-toe with Oregon. And then they just didn't have. That's where I say when on the greatest fictitious football show in America, the Gridiron on Saturday, when you don't have the ponies,
right?
When you got Clydesdales pulling one trailer and you got two donkeys pulling the other, you keep up for a second. But when them Clydesdales like, all right, we gone. The donkeys like, yeah, we just can't keep up. And that's Maryland. Maryland got 4 or 5 donkeys pulling the trailer. One's real strong, you know. But
Mhm.
and the other four just like regular donkeys, and then you got USC just Clydesdales, and then you know they're playing with them. They unhook four of the Clydesdales, and one's pulling the trailer, and they still beating. You know, it's a whole. It's just recruiting. I just like they've been in the Big Ten since either 12 or 14.
I want to say
They
12.
it for me, and I think I said this. It should have been a 5-year project. You are not going to get on par with Michigan and Penn State and Ohio State, but you should be beating Michigan State. You should be beating Illinois. You should be beating um God, Iowa. Iowa just came in here and slapped them around at home. You should be
Northwestern.
on par with those teams. You need a generation to catch up with Michigan and Penn State. They just don't you don't catch up with them in just 5 seasons. Now, if they had the right lineup and the right AD and the right coach, maybe 10 years, maybe around now, you beat a Michigan, you beat a Penn State where your team is given 120%, they just have a bad game. But even if the Michigans of the world and Ohio State, if they come out and play flat and score 13 points, they're still going to beat Maryland.
Well, the problem is the myth of Talia is what killed him. Because Talia was supposed to be the guy
He was.
that's supposed to help you, give you a top tier quarterback. And people
Yep.
told me that he was a good quarterback. I didn't see it, but
I didn't
okay.
either. I didn't either.
I don't remember seeing the throw that I was like, ooh, that's that play you gotta have. I don't remember that. I don't remember the memorable play from him at all in that stretch. But that's the key. I always say that.
All right, bro. I got you. We all Penn State. I got you. I got you. You better back all some of them players in the recruiting portal, man. I'm telling you. Commissioner's exemption. Hey man, look.
But
But
yeah,
your
I
phone right
think
here, Brian.
I think the kicker for Maryland right now is that's it. It's the signal caller. And I'd
Yeah.
be looking at some of these schools that got 2 or 3 quarterbacks, and either a young kid coming in, like the kid Lewis going into Colorado. I don't know what their backup situation is,
Man,
but
go grab one of them so quick.
grab somebody out of that portal. You
And
know,
then and Tallulah was a Sam's Club quarterback. Just because you come out with a lot, don't mean that you got food to fix a meal. He threw in bulk and set records and stuff. That don't mean nothing because it didn't translate to win. You throwing the ball. I say this all the time. If you give me a contract and you say we want you to put up 30 shots a game, you should get 10, 15 points. But if you putting up 30 shots and you consistently scoring 40 and 50, now we talking, we cooking with grease. Just because you throwing the ball 30, 40, 50 times and you got 300 yards, y'all still losing. It don't mean that. It doesn't mean, like you said, we never saw that throw. We never saw that play. He let him down against Oregon. We never seen that. You toss the pigskin around against bad teams and it just showed you that, maybe they got some pieces at receiver, but they don't have that guy, man. And you don't have
yeah.
that guy, it's gonna be a long season.
No, that's totally it, man. Totally it.
What we got? He
That's
said, back off my DT. Look, man, I got about 3 of them I'm looking at, and I think the one that you're ahead of me, he's mad. I got another DT on the hook, but like Coach Prime said, my bags are Louis. So hit that transfer portal. Hit that transfer portal, baby. We trying to accomplish something in Maryland, baby. You hit that transfer portal. Shoot.
what else we got? I don't have anything else.
I don't think I have it. Big guy gone.
He
Big
missing in
guy.
action, so
And look, y'all are here on the gridiron, but I gotta give him his congratulations here. I gotta give him his flowers here. The big guy KG in our football league, he took the Notre Dame Fighting Irish this man right here, against this man right here, and they had a battle. They had some technical difficulties, but they had a heavyweight battle, and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in year 3 of our league have come out national champions. And it's a big step, man. And I'll share this. We usually talk during games. We share a little thing. Hey, you missing this? You doing this? And I told him I couldn't send you a message that game. I told him I got this little magnet on my phone, so I was in the kitchen before I left out, and I had the phone up right at eye level, and I was just standing there, hands behind my back, looking. And I said, I can't send him a message. He got to do this on his own.
Yep.
I can't tell him what he's missing and look out for this, because once again, this guy right here, and Coach Darnell, Michigan, attest to it. He's when it comes to tiers, when it comes to defensive line play in our league, he's on a tier alone. He's in the A+ tier, and then nobody's there with him. He's that good when it comes to controlling the defensive line guys. He ended our game, the first game of the playoff. I'm gonna go back and watch it. I sent my receiver on the into the end zone, and he broke, and I had to meet up to throw. Guess who sacks me? Crunch time, clutch time, I get sacked. And that's what he does. That's his strong suit. And I knew that coming in. You have to know that, because you have to get the ball out quick against him. But yeah, man, I was just like, man, I gotta let KG do it. He gotta do this on his own. He got his game plan. You know what I'm saying? And it's time to get it. And he did it, man. I'm proud of him. And he gets to go into this season, defending national champion. And he got to defend it. He got to defend it, man. So, yeah, kudos to him, man. I just wanted to put that. We're going to talk about it on the gridiron this Saturday. We should be at least in week 1, at least, because, we got the holiday, so everybody got some more time. So,
No. You got to go back if you haven't seen it. We did a nice little recap. We even introduced the phone messages that I was leaving him. Because I watched the game back after they played it. So they played. I tried to make sure I avoided the results, and I watched the game, and I was sending updates as first they were just text messages like, "Oh, this is this 21-21, boom, boom, boom." But when he didn't go for that field goal at 21-21, I lost it. So I called. So I sent the call in, and if you watch this last episode of the Gridiron, we played the calls and the reactions on the show. So if you want to know my reactions during that game, when I watched it, even though it wasn't live, I still watched it and made sure that he didn't respond to me. Yeah, we had a good time, man. Had a real good time that Saturday night. So I hope you guys enjoyed that show, and then catch us, because I guess we're going to try to do a preview this week. Maybe we can talk to more coaches and have a little fun Saturday morning.
I'm gonna try to reach out to the Texas coach.
Yeah, I know he wanted to jump in.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to reach out to the Texas coach. We haven't had Alabama or Colorado on here, have we?
We had no, but I know Alabama. Don't worry about Alabama. Don't worry about Alabama. Alabama's going to say 2 words to me, so it's all good that I don't get Alabama. He's gonna be like Belichick, like we won in Cincinnati, and like that's all he's gonna say to me.
Oh my goodness, man! Hey, look, everybody having fun, So that's what matters, man. Everybody's having fun, and we're gonna keep this thing rolling, man. We're in no rush to add anybody that takes away from that fun or the experience that we're having right now. So if we add you and you full of shit, you're getting a boot. You're getting a boot. So. But otherwise, man, I don't have anything else. Unless you got something else. Buffalo didn't play this week, so my blood pressure is normal.
I was about to say you sound real calm today, so it's like, yeah, you good to go. But since we don't have anything else, if you got anything for wrap it up, if not, I'm gonna get out of here.
Man, let's get out of here. We the saying is, we don't do no overtime, but that's a goddamn lie. These shows be over an hour every time. But for the Midnight Rider, for myself, the Boss B, for the Gentleman Jack on assignment, and you saw the big guy KG multitasking. We out of here.
Out of here.